Namaskar and welcome to Sansad Television. I am Vishal Dahiya and you're watching our show House Highlights, where we bring you details of the developments in both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha during the day. Let's begin with the headlines first. Union budget focused on maintaining sustainability and imparting stability to the economy. Finance Minister says despite pandemic, government kept inflation lower than UP era. First part of the budget session concludes. Deputy Chairman Harivansh says Upper House did not witness any forced adjournments and functioned half an hour more than the scheduled time. And question hour in Lok Sabha. BPL families to get financial aid up to 20 lakh rupees for treatment in government hospitals for rare diseases like cancer. Let's first take a look at the developments in the Upper House. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman replied to the general discussion on the Union budget in Rajya Sabha. She asserted that the government's inflation management is robust and the inflation rate stands at 6.2% despite the challenges posed by the unprecedented COVID-19 pandemic. The minister said that the Union Budget 2022-23 focuses on creating modern infrastructure in the upcoming 25 years. She said the budget will bring continuity and stability in the economy, ensuring growth. On cryptocurrency, she said provision has been made to tax the digital assets, and the question of banning, regulating or legalizing it will come subsequently after consultations. Let's listen into her.
There was a philosophy or a guiding principle of PM Gati Shakti, which was put in as one of the ways in which the infrastructure spending from the public hands would be guided. That guidance which comes from the PM Gati Shakti was essentially because we needed to bring in greater synergy. We wanted to bring in greater complementarity between the various infrastructure spending that we are undertaking, because it's not to say that infrastructure spending has never happened in this country. It has happened. But what we find over the decades, that each project by itself, standalone in its nature, hadn't given the benefit or the multiplier which such an investment should have given us. So you brought in a manufacturing zone, or you built a road somewhere, a highway somewhere, but unfortunately the synergy which had to come through hadn't come through, or partly came through, but actually maximization was not possible. And therefore we thought, if there is a greater synergy between all these public expended infrastructure projects that are being created, it should be to the point of maximizing the outcome of such infrastructure which is getting built, at least in the forthcoming 25 years, the Amrit Kal that we talk about, leading India towards 100. And therefore the Gati Shakti guiding us for building infrastructure all across the country, being the focus and the continuity from last year on infra as an instrument for giving the stimulus to the economy. Technology and digital adaptation are also the instruments through which we want to work during this Amrit Kal, so that India at 100 would have the lead advantage which many countries are just starting to do. We would be leading in that field of digital technology and technology adaptation, leading to better transparency in governance and accountability also. These are two very important, other than the fact that it is easing common man's financial inclusion process or education or health related matters, it also shows in a very transparent manner how governance takes place in this country. In spite of the supply side disruptions, India's CPI inflation now is at only 6.2%. I want to just highlight the fact that India's the inflation CPI, which is what is used for assessing the Mehngai, as we say in Hindi, is at 6.2. So, sir, for a reduction in gain of 2.12 lakh crores, the CPI inflation of that time was 9.1%, meaning inflation was at 9.1%, the CPI, for a reduction of only 2.12 lakh crores, which is big enough. Global financial crisis hit us. That was the reduction in gain. Whereas the pandemic hit us and the loss to the GDP was 9.57%, and our management of the inflation is that it is only 6.2%. I want to highlight this for the benefit of all our opposition respected members who periodically say, look at the inflation, look at the inflation. I want to say, lesser crisis, you couldn't handle the inflation. You led it to 9.1. We are taking care of it, and it is remaining at 6.1% only. And I agree, there are instances where we need to work more to get more pulses in the ground, more edible oils in the ground. We are working on it. But a smaller crisis you couldn't handle with very experienced finance ministers. So the budget mentioned about different categories under which some employment is being created here, some somewhere else. But one big number which easily people picked it up and said that is the number, that is all that you're going to create, 60 lakhs is all that you're going to create. Sorry, I think what got missed out in that is PLI, which is being now given for 14 sectors. We are describing each PLI scheme which is being given for different sectors, and this one where we spoke about PLI, for the PLI driven exercises we said a 60 lakh number. That doesn't end the story there. There are various other steps that the government is taking aiming at improving employment. November 2021, sir, saw a net addition, not just addition alone, forgetting the dropouts, net addition in the EPFO subscription to peaking at 13.9 lakh new subscribers, an increase of 109.21% over the previous year. And this is the highest ever achieved since 2017. So unemployment issue is got to be seen from the various different sources of information and sector related information that we are getting. We shouldn't rush to think that 60 lakh crore which was given, 60 lakh which was given is all the jobs that is being created. Health sector is getting adequate funds. I'll just very quickly give you a picture. 2019-20, we had given 64,000 crores. In 2021, 80,000, 26 crores, 85,915 in the RE. That 80,000 became 85,915 in the RE of 21-22, the year that we are in, which we'll finish on 31st March. And 22-23, the budget which is before this House, gives 86,606 crores, sir. So it's going up and not coming down. Then there are issues, there are points which are also got to be drawn attention of this House. Expenditure on COVID-related health preparedness has received 12,000 crore in 2020-21, more than 15,000 crore in 22-23. So for preparedness, we have given that money as well. 5,846 crore has been allocated under PM Abhim, Ayushman Bharat Health Infrastructure Mission scheme, which is going to develop capacities in health systems and institutions for responding effectively to the current pandemic, and God forbid if there is any future pandemic as well. 20,000 crore subordinate debt for MSMEs, 3 lakh crore collateral-free automatic loans for business, including MSMEs, which has now been enhanced to 4.5 lakh crore. And now, during this budget, we have given 50,000 crore more, raising it to 5 lakh crores. 50,000 crore equity infusion through MSME Self-Reliant India Fund. Then, from among these schemes, monies have also been dispersed and people have benefited from it. Whatever is left over in these accounts will continue to remain ready for anyone who wants to use it. So I just want to highlight that the amount of disbursements made under the Emergency Credit Guarantee Scheme is 2.36 lakh crores disbursed, gone into the account of those MSME who need it. The act of taxing the cryptocurrencies, I think honorable member suggested, is it legitimizing the cryptocurrencies? She asked a question. I just want to say, we have taxed the profit emanating from the transactions. I'm not doing anything to legalize it or ban it or not legalize it or anything at this stage. Banning or not banning will come subsequently when the consultations give me inputs. But then would you rather have me not tax and allow the profits to be there and then tell me I have not even taken a corrective action? So, legitimate or illegitimate, it's a different question. But I will tax because it's a sovereign right to tax. I just want to say, for 22-23, talking about the overall investment, 22-23, the allocation is 1 lakh crore to assist the states. He asked about the GST collections and also said, will there be some kind of a support to the states? So on the matter of support to states, I would like to highlight that 1 lakh crore is being given to assist the states in catalyzing overall investments in the economy. I just want to underline the fact that it's being given for 50 years without any interest burden on the states. Sir, and it's not going to affect their FRBM. They can continue to borrow at the rates which have already been given to them. So this is not going to hurt them. India's rural internet user base is growing, and it is over 3 times faster, growing 3 times faster, and is quicker and is quickly catching up to surpass the urban user numbers. So this is something which has come out of a Internet Mobile Association of India's report. So while I'm quoting from the report, sir, while internet users grew by 4% in urban India, reaching 323 million users in 2020, digital adoption continues to be propelled by rural India, registering a 13% growth in internet users over the past year, unquote. So rural India's internet connectivity is also growing. Data consumption through BharatNet optical fiber surpassed 13,000 terabytes till June 2021. This is an increase from 6,000 terabytes in 2020 and 300 to 400 terabytes in July 2019. Rapidity with which it is increasing, sir. I just want to highlight that according to the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, which is a report of August 2021, the total number of internet subscribers increased from 79.5 crores at the end of December 2020 to 82.5 crores at the end of March 2021. So in this budget, of course, I have announced that contract for laying optical fiber in all the villages, the ministers next to me, including remote areas, will be awarded under the BharatNet project through PPP in 22-23 itself, and the completion is expected by 2025. Our vision is that all villages and their residents should get the same access to e-services, communication facilities, and digital resources as urban areas and their residents.
As the first part of the 256th session of Rajya Sabha concluded today, Deputy Chairman Harivansh said that the upper house did not witness any forced adjournments and functioned nearly half an hour more than the scheduled sitting time.
Honourable members, just before we adjourn for a long recess, on behalf of Honourable Chairman, on my own behalf, I would like to express our happiness over the manner in which proceedings of this August House took place during the first part of the budget session. The House has not witnessed any forced adjournments during the entire first part of this budget session, and it functioned nearly half an hour more than the scheduled sitting time. The credit for this goes to every member of this House. As a result, the members could not only participate effectively in the discussion on the motion of thanks to the President address and general discussion on the budget, but also were able to raise 51 starred questions, 71 hour submissions, and about 17 zero-hour submissions, and about 50 special mentions. I compliment all sections of this August House for effective functioning of the House in a very positive way during this part of the budget session, and hope that we continue to be guided with the same spirit in the future. The House stands adjourned to meet at 10 hours on Monday, the 14th March 2022. बहुत धन्यवाद.
Let's take a short break here. On the other side, we'll give you details of the developments in Lok Sabha as well. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla congratulated the members for effective functioning of the first part of the budget session despite the situation of coronavirus pandemic. He stated that 121% work was done in the Lok Sabha. The lower house has been adjourned till 14th of March.
बजट सत्र के प्रथम चरण में आप सभी मान्य सदस्यों की सक्रिय भागीदारी रही और सकारात्मक सहयोग मिला। कोरोना संक्रमण की चुनौतियों के बावजूद भी माननीय सदस्यों ने सदन में देर रात तक बैठते हुए अपने संवैधानिक दायित्वों को प्रतिबद्धता के साथ निभाया, जिससे हम 121% उच्च कार्य उत्पादकता प्राप्त कर सके। सदन में माननीय राष्ट्रपति जी के अभिभाषण पर चर्चा के लिए आवंटित 12 घंटे के समय के स्थान पर 15 घंटे 13 मिनट चर्चा हुई, जिसमें 60 मान्य सदस्यों ने भाग लिया। 60 अन्य मान्य सदस्यों ने अपने भाषण को सभा पटल पर रखा। इसी प्रकार आम बजट पर सामान्य चर्चा के लिए आवंटित 12 घंटे के स्थान पर कुल 15 घंटे 33 मिनट चर्चा हुई, जिसमें 81 मान्य सदस्यों ने भाग लिया। 63 मान्य सदस्यों ने अपने भाषण सभा पटल पर रखे। इस दौरान सभी मान्य सदस्यों ने सदन को संचालित करने में सकारात्मक सहयोग दिया। सभी विषयों पर व्यापक चर्चा और संवाद हुआ।
More than 40 lakh cancer cases were reported and 22.54 lakh people died of the disease in the country between 2018 and 2020. The government informed the Lok Sabha this on Friday. Replying to a question during the question hour, Health Minister Mansukh Mandaviya said for BPL families to get treatment in government hospitals with respect to rare diseases like cancer, financial support up to Rs 20 lakh will be provided. TMC member Saugata Roy asked about the broad consensus on Afghanistan at the Central Asia Summit as well.
Sir, in the reply, I see that there is a scheme where the government is providing financial assistance using Rashtriya Arogya Nidhi, where up to 15 lakhs is being provided, and Health Minister's discretionary grant, that is another 1.5 lakhs which is being provided for the poor. I am not sure how many members are aware of this, because we only usually write only to the PM, Prime Minister's National Disaster Relief Fund. So can we members apply for this?
अध्यक्ष महोदय, माननीय सदस्य ने जानना चाहा है कि मंत्री का पावर है जो मरीज को मदद कर सके। उससे बीपीएल लाभार्थी कोई मरीज हो, कैंसर जैसी गंभीर बीमारी हो, ऐसी स्थिति में मंत्री जी को पावर दिया गया है कि वो सरकारी अस्पताल में उसका इलाज के लिए 20 लाख तक का सहयोग कर सकते हैं। मैंने अभी उपयोग नहीं किया है, वैसे ही हो जाता है।
थायराइड जो मोटापा की जानलेवा बीमारी है, यह बीमारी बढ़ रही है, विशेषकर उत्तरी भारत में, तो यह एक समस्या हो गया है। अब उन्होंने महिलाओं की उम्र 15 से 49 वर्ष की ही लिया है, जबकि 50 वर्ष से अधिक की महिला और पुरुष भी थायराइड से ग्रसित हो रहे हैं। आयोडीन भी सर्वेक्षण 5 के आधार पर 94.3% लोगों को मिल रहा है। माननीय मेरा मंत्री जी से प्रश्न है, फिर मेरा प्रश्न यह है कि पुनः सरकार थायराइड को विस्तृत सर्वेक्षण खासकर उत्तर बिहार में कराना चाहती है।
जहां ये थायराइड डिसऑर्डर्स बढ़े हैं, उसके लिए नेशनल लेवल पे नेशनल आयोडीन डेफिशिएंसी डिसऑर्डर्स कंट्रोल प्रोग्राम के तहत और स्टेट लेवल पे स्टेट आयोडीन डेफिशिएंसी कंट्रोल सेल के तहत अनेक प्रावधान दिए गए हैं, राज्यों को राशि भी दी गई है।
Is today in the hands of Taliban, and it is threatening, since this is the way to India, it is threatening the security of the country. May I know from the Honorable Minister, what was the broad regional consensus on Afghanistan, which is being ruled by extremist Taliban forces which are hostile to India?
The situation in Afghanistan is of natural concern for neighboring countries like India and the Central Asian countries. And I would say that in broad terms, we share the same concerns and similar objectives. The Delhi Declaration, which was issued after the summit, it reflects the broad consensus on Afghanistan, including humanitarian assistance, ensuring formation of a truly representative and inclusive government.
Though Podiai has been Center for Siddha Medicine, there is no Siddha Research Center nor medical college. In this context, I would like to know from the Honorable Minister whether the government plans to open new medical college for Siddha system of medicine and also research center in Tenkasi, Tamil Nadu.
अगले दिनों में उनकी कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी में हॉस्पिटल प्रतिष्ठा किया जाएगा या नहीं, इस सिलसिले में मैं इतना ही कहना चाहता हूं माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय आपके जरिए कि राज्य सरकार की तरफ से अगर प्रस्ताव इस सिलसिले में भेजा जाए तो विषय को मैं जरूर विवेचना करूंगा।
Members also raised several matters of urgent public importance during the zero hour. Let's take a look.
आहिर रेजिमेंट न बनने का ये कारण है कि आहिर वीरों ने अंग्रेजों के शासन काल में अंग्रेजों का बहुत विरोध किया और स्वतंत्रता की लड़ाई बहुत जोर शोर से लड़ी। मैं अनुरोध करता हूं कि हमारे समाज की बहुत बड़ी मांग है कि सेना में आहिर रेजिमेंट के नाम से एक रेजिमेंट की स्थापना किया जाए।
संजय सेठ जी,
अंग्रेजों को इस देश से भगाने में जिन स्वतंत्रता सेनानियों ने अपनी आहुति दी, उनमें जीतराम बेदिया जी का नाम प्रमुख रूप से लिया जाता है। 23 अप्रैल 1958 को अंग्रेजों की मद्रास बटालियन के मैकडोनाल्ड से संघर्ष के दौरान बेदिया जी सहित कई वीरों ने अपना बलिदान दिया। मेरा यह आग्रह है, आजादी के इस अमृत महोत्सव में महान स्वतंत्रता सेनानियों का एक मेमोरियल बनाया जाए, इनके बलिदान को सूचीबद्ध किया जाए ताकि हमारे गौरव और महान स्वतंत्रता सेनानी को हम अपनी कृतज्ञता प्रकट कर सकें, उन्हें सच्ची श्रद्धांजलि दे सके। धन्यवाद।
Sir, my first demand is implement the recommendation of the high empowered monitoring committee in respect of employees pension scheme 95, and the second one is government of India and EPFO should refrain from rejecting the higher pension already been ordered by the EPF organization and approved by the Supreme Court since long.
किसान के घर में कुछ नहीं है, टूटी हुई खाट है, फटे हुए बिस्तर हैं, जो भी उसकी संपत्ति है उसके बारे में जहाँ पशुधन रहता है वहीं सब कुछ उसके कृषि उपकरण है, चाहे पशुधन है, सब कुछ वहीं रहता है। परंतु जब आग लग जाती है, जब शहरों से गांव की ओर जब अग्निशमन वाहन चाहता है, तब तक सब कुछ स्वाह हो जाता है। इसलिए मेरा सभापति महोदय आपकी मार्फत मेरा प्रधानमंत्री जी से, पंचायत राज मंत्री जी से निवेदन है कि जो ये व्यवस्था जो शहरों में है ये गाँवों में पंचायत समिति स्तर पे होनी चाहिए, ताकि किसानों की एक बहुत बड़ी क्षति हो जाती है तो वो उससे बच सके।
The lower house also took up discussion on points arising out of the answer given by the Minister of Rural Development on 8th of February 2022 to a start question regarding beneficiaries under PMAYG.
ये जो फनी के लिए जो आइडेंटिफिकेशन हुआ था प्रधानमंत्री एलोकेशन करने के बाद, वो सिर्फ 14 डिस्ट्रिक्ट का है, और बाकी जो 16 डिस्ट्रिक्ट रह गया है, जो लेफ्ट विंग अफेक्टेड डिस्ट्रिक्ट है, 2 ट्राइबल डिस्ट्रिक्ट है, कंपेरेटिवली अंडर डेवलप्ड डिस्ट्रिक्ट है, वहाँ ये हुआ नहीं है, आइडेंटिफिकेशन नहीं हुआ है। तो आज मैं यही निवेदन करूँगा, मेरा प्रश्न यही रहेगा कि आप विंडो खोलिए।
जो प्रधानमंत्री आवास योजना के सबसे नीडी हैं, वो लोग वैसे हैं जिनको कि लैंड नहीं है तो सबसे ज़्यादा उन्हीं को चाहिए प्रधानमंत्री आवास। इसमें लैंड एक्वायर करने का जो है कोई फैसिलिटी बहुत नहीं है स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के साथ। तो जो ये बेसिक उद्देश्य है सर कि हमको गरीबों को घर देना है, उसमें से मेरा आपके माध्यम से मंत्री जी से आग्रह है कि इस योजना में कोई ऐसी स्थिति स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के साथ बनाइए, या तो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट लैंड एक्वायर करके दे, या आप उस लैंड को एक्वायर करने के लिए दिए पैसा देते हैं तो वो होगा।
हमने 4.03 करोड़ दिया, आपने उसको शुद्ध करके 2.95 दिया। जब हम 2.95 आपको दे रहे हैं, तब आप 3.57, तब तक कैबिनेट से ये योजना 2.95 का पास हुआ। अब हमारे पास इन्होंने फिर उसमें से शुद्ध अशुद्ध करके 2.15 कहा कि 2.95 में भी जब आया तो हमारे पास 80 लाख कहाँ किसको दें, क्योंकि सोशियो इकोनॉमिक कास्ट सेंसस को आपने अपने ढंग से संशोधित किया। उसके लिए एक कमेटी बनी राज्य सरकार के साथ मिलकर के, कौन होंगे जिनको घर नहीं होगा, मजदूरी होगा, एक बना। उसके बाद ये 3 पॉइंट जब हम उनको रीसर्वे किया तब ये आया महोदय, और उस प्रकार 80 लाख को जो बना जिस राज्य को, उन राज्यों को सुपुर्द किया।
That's all we have in this edition of House Highlights. We'll come back again on 14th of March when the second half of the budget session begins. Till then, keep watching Sansad Television. Thank you.